It's day one of the celebrity trial gripping much of the nation. Sean Diddy Combs, once one of entertainment's most powerful moguls, accused of crimes so heinous, he faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. He's denied all charges, and just a warning, this story contains accounts, descriptions, and visual content of actual or alleged events that some may find disturbing.
The Diddy trial just took a shocking turn. Now Usher has been named as Diddy's secret partner in the scandal. New leaks expose a web of abuse, hidden recordings, and alleged cover-ups that could change everything. What's really going on behind the scenes? Stay tuned as we break down every explosive detail. Diddy's courtroom drama has escalated beyond anyone's expectations. Testimonies and leaked documents are revealing a much darker picture, one where Usher isn't just a bystander, but potentially a key player. From leaked receipts placing Usher at the center of Diddy's controversial freak-offs to allegations of recorded abuse and disturbing courtroom testimonies, this case is unraveling fast. Today, we're unpacking the real connections, exposing the hidden truths, and following the trail that could lead to more legal fallout for both stars. No speculation, just facts and damning evidence. This is everything you need to know about the Diddy trial fallout. For years, Usher was widely regarded as one of the many victims tangled in the web of Diddy's alleged misconduct. But new revelations have drastically shifted this perception. Insider Don Richards leaked documents and receipts that place Usher not only at Diddy's notorious freak-offs, but actively participating in them. More shocking is the allegation that Usher was the cameraman, responsible for recording these controversial events. Multiple people have come forward claiming that Diddy kept these disturbing recordings, but the idea that Usher himself operated the camera challenges previous narratives. It raises serious questions about how deeply involved Usher was and what he knew. What was once a simple list of alleged victims now includes a figure who may have had a role in perpetuating the very activities that harmed so many. There are whispers that Usher's involvement went beyond attendance and into complicity, possibly helping Diddy recruit or groom other young men. This emerging picture has unsettled fans and the industry alike, with many now wondering whether Usher's silence over the years was due to fear, complicity, or both. As the investigation deepens, authorities appear to be focusing on the extent of Usher's participation, suggesting potential legal consequences that could rival those faced by Diddy himself. The federal investigation into Diddy's alleged exploitation of young boys has been ongoing for over a decade.
It's a monumental day when we're talking about Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. At one point, he also had the actual key to New York City. So to see him today facing trial on federal criminal charges is completely a downfall of who Puff Daddy, who Sean Combs was.
Far from a sudden crackdown, this probe reportedly began around 2013 and has since evolved into a comprehensive inquiry involving numerous witnesses, leaked documents, and court filings. Federal agents have scrutinized not only Diddy's actions, but those within his inner circle. Usher's name has recently surfaced as a person of interest, based on testimony and leaked evidence suggesting a larger role than previously known. Don Richards' explosive courtroom statements have intensified the focus on Usher, bringing new life to suspicions about his involvement. Where he was once considered a peripheral figure, or even a victim, investigators are now examining whether he was a participant or facilitator in Diddy's alleged abuses. This shift marks a critical turning point in the case. The scope of the investigation suggests that authorities are piecing together a much wider network, possibly implicating more individuals than the public realizes. The legal ramifications could be severe. If Usher is found to have knowingly enabled or contributed to illegal activities, he may face charges alongside Diddy, further complicating an already tangled legal battle. Usher's relationship with Diddy dates back to his early teens when he moved into Diddy's circle at age 13. For years, the narrative was that Usher, as a young boy, was vulnerable and exploited by Diddy's reportedly inappropriate behavior toward minors. This assumption fit the public perception of Usher as a victim in the scandal. However, recent leaks and insider accounts paint a more complex picture. Documents reportedly show Usher was deeply involved in events that many thought he only attended. Leaked receipts place him at freak-offs where explicit recordings were made, not just as a witness, but allegedly as the one behind the camera. Usher has remained largely silent on these allegations, a silence understood in the context of Diddy's intimidating reputation. Reports claim Diddy used aggressive tactics to silence accusers, including violent threats like the reported bombing of Kid Cudi's car to send a message. Such fear may explain why so many remained quiet for years. Yet the silence also raises difficult questions about Usher's possible knowledge or involvement in the darker side of Diddy's operations. Federal authorities are now scrutinizing this silence, looking beyond victimhood to potential complicity. With new evidence emerging, Usher's early years with Diddy could come under intense legal and public examination, reshaping how this scandal is understood. The scandal took a new turn with the leak of Kim Porter's unfinished memoir. According to insiders, the memoir exposes a much closer relationship between Diddy and Usher than previously known. Allegations claim that Diddy and Usher were not just acquaintances, but had an intimate relationship. Moreover, the memoir suggests that Diddy gave Usher a sexually transmitted disease, adding a disturbing layer to the narrative. The leak didn't stop there. An email from a publisher working on Kim's memoir surfaced online, containing damning details about the content. This email described how the manuscript named individuals involved in Diddy's inner circle, detailed footage of encounters, and even described disputes with Usher's mother. The revelations caused shockwaves throughout the entertainment world. Adding credibility to these claims, Cassie, another figure linked to Diddy, reportedly possessed evidence corroborating parts of Kim's memoir. These developments bring renewed attention to the extent of the abuse and manipulation within Diddy's circle, and how far-reaching the consequences could be for everyone involved. The public once overwhelmingly sympathized with Usher, viewing him as a victim trapped in a damaging environment. But as new evidence emerges, the perspective is shifting. Diddy's alleged confessions, combined with leaked receipts, have led federal authorities to consider Usher not just as collateral damage, but potentially as an accomplice. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, has publicly hinted at this, saying, "This statement reflects the growing belief that Usher may have had knowledge of the activities and chose silence or participation instead of resistance." The shifting narrative challenges fans and the industry to reassess Usher's role and responsibility amid these serious allegations. Another explosive allegation involves Usher's connection to Justin Bieber. In a recent interview, Jack Barrite claimed that Usher was instrumental in introducing Bieber to Diddy, effectively handing Bieber over to Diddy's management and influence. Barrite explained that while Diddy had been trying to connect with Bieber for some time, his management resisted. It was only when Usher assumed temporary guardianship over Bieber that Diddy gained access, including a 48-hour guardianship transfer that facilitated this. Usher allegedly oversaw Bieber's custody and then handed him to Diddy, despite earlier hospitalizations and concerns about Bieber's well-being. These claims add another dimension to the growing legal and public relations challenges for both Diddy and Usher, showing how their influence might have extended into managing and controlling other young artists. Dawn Richard, a member of the girl group Danny Kane formed on Diddy's reality show Making the Band, delivered a powerful and detailed testimony during Diddy's federal trial. She described a toxic and abusive environment under Diddy's control, where verbal abuse and coercion were routine. Richard testified that Diddy regularly spoke to the female contestants in a hostile, condescending manner. She recalled instances where he used disparaging and gender-based insults, calling them fat, ugly bees and 304s. These words weren't just hurtful, they created a culture of fear and insecurity among the young women eager to succeed in the industry. Moreover, Richard detailed how Diddy forced the group into extreme working conditions. She said they were deprived of basic necessities like adequate food and rest. When they requested breaks or meals, they were met with dismissive remarks such as, "You bees don't want this," or "Y'all ain't hungry enough and I'm paying you bees to work." These harsh conditions caused Richard significant physical and emotional strain, including substantial weight loss. Richard's testimony didn't stop at verbal abuse. She revealed disturbing accounts of Diddy's violent outbursts, including one incident where he allegedly threw a hot skillet at Cassie Ventura, causing injury. Despite these acts occurring in the presence of industry peers, including Usher, there was a conspicuous silence. According to Richard, Usher witnessed Diddy putting his hands on Cassie multiple times, but never intervened or spoke out. This silence raises questions about complicity and the culture of fear within Diddy's circle. One particularly telling incident occurred during a dinner at a West Hollywood restaurant.
to do a performance for a bachelorette party. At least that's what he thought. But when he got to the hotel, to the room, that Cassie opened up the door. He did not know that was Cassie, and that she told him, well, it's my birthday and my husband wants to do something special, so can you give me a massage with this body oil, and then we can just take it from there and see where it leads.
Diddy punched Cassie in the stomach in front of guests, including Usher and singer Memo. Richard described how Cassie was visibly in pain and had to be escorted out, while Diddy continued socializing as if nothing happened. Further deepening the allegations, Richard recounted seeing Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-partner and mother of his children, leaving a recording studio with visible facial injuries, including a lacerated lip. The fear of retaliation and Diddy's reputation for intimidation reportedly kept many from speaking out about these abuses. Richard's accounts reveal a grim reality behind the glitz and glamour, exposing how abuse and control were wielded as tools to silence victims and maintain power. The testimonies underscore the need for accountability and justice in an industry often hidden from public scrutiny. As the allegations mount and evidence surfaces, public opinion on Usher's role remains divided. Was Usher a victim of Diddy's influence, trapped in a harmful environment beyond his control? Or was he an accomplice who knowingly participated in or enabled questionable activities? The complexity of the case blurs these lines. Usher's silence over the years, combined with leaked receipts and insider statements, has fueled speculation about his possible complicity. Many now question whether his role was purely passive or more active in sustaining Diddy's operations. This uncertainty keeps the public engaged and divided, with viewers weighing the facts against their perceptions. The truth may take time to fully emerge, but one thing is clear: Usher's reputation and legacy are under unprecedented scrutiny. During the trial, Dawn Richards provided first-hand testimony about physical abuse incidents involving Diddy and Cassie Ventura. She described a 2010 incident at a West Hollywood restaurant where Diddy punched Cassie in the stomach while Usher was reportedly present.
Mr. Combs punched Cassie in the stomach. They were having a private conversation, and then he punched her in the stomach. She immediately leaned over and...
Richards further testified that after the restaurant incident, Diddy physically assaulted Cassie again in a car, grabbing her, slapping her, and telling her to be quiet. The testimony painted a stark picture of ongoing physical abuse in the presence of others, raising serious concerns about the culture of violence surrounding Diddy. Dawn Richards' civil lawsuit against Diddy paints a disturbing image of prolonged mistreatment. She accused Diddy of imposing grueling work schedules, denying adequate food and rest, and verbally abusing female contestants during the filming of Making the Band Seasons 3 and 4. Richard detailed how Diddy's derogatory remarks, including calling women fat, ugly bees, contributed to a hostile environment. The lawsuit also alleged that Diddy forced the group to rehearse for 36 to 48 hours without breaks, leading to significant physical and mental exhaustion. Further claims included Diddy's alleged drug use during these periods, which reportedly intensified his erratic and controlling behavior. Richard's testimony exposes a pattern of abuse and exploitation within the music industry's inner workings, challenging the public to confront uncomfortable truths. The atmosphere surrounding Diddy's circle has been described as one of fear and silence. Numerous witnesses and insiders have alleged that intimidation and threats were routine methods used to keep people quiet. Dawn Richards' testimony detailed how Diddy's aggressive behavior extended beyond verbal and physical abuse to a wider campaign of control. One particularly chilling example involves threats against those who dared to speak out. The public has heard reports that Diddy once orchestrated the destruction of Kid Cudi's car to send a clear message about crossing him. This pattern of intimidation helped maintain a culture of silence, where even high-profile individuals like Usher remained reluctant to reveal the full extent of what they knew. This pervasive fear has contributed to the long duration of the investigation and the slow unraveling of the truth, highlighting the challenges faced by victims seeking justice. As the trial progresses, the stakes continue to rise for both Diddy and those implicated in his inner circle. With new allegations, leaked evidence, and testimonies coming to light, the public scrutiny is intense, and the legal consequences could be severe. Usher, once considered merely a victim, now faces questions about his involvement, while Diddy confronts multiple charges ranging from abuse to exploitation. The case exposes not only the personal failings of individuals, but also the systemic issues within the entertainment industry that allowed such behavior to persist. The outcome remains uncertain, but the trial serves as a critical moment for accountability and awareness, pushing the conversation about abuse and power dynamics in music and beyond. The Diddy trial has revealed a disturbing web of allegations, involving not only the mogul himself, but also close associates like Usher. From leaked documents to courtroom testimonies, the case exposes a pattern of abuse, silence, and complicity that challenges perceptions and demands justice.